following message is presented by Community Gospel Church in Bremen, Indiana. It is our great privilege to share this ministry with you. We in no way intend for this to be a replacement for the local church. It is our prayer that this would serve as a resource to help make Jesus Christ known in our congregation and other congregations gathering across the world. For more information about Community Gospel Church, visit www.communitygospelchurch.com. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or maybe it's even good evening for you. Hey, my name is Jordan, and I am here to give you an update on all things that have been transpiring in and through Community Gospel Church for the last month, and then we're going to talk about what's coming up for next month. And next month is really big because we are in Holy Week season, and there's a lot to talk about. So buckle up, get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, come pull up a chair, and let's talk for a little bit. First of all, let's go back and let's talk about what happened last month. And last month has really been just preparation for Holy Week and preparation for all things that are going on and transpiring in regards to Easter. For example, we introduced 2 new songs in regards to our corporate worship gathering to prep for our Lenten season as well as Holy Week. Those songs, as well as all of our other songs, can be found by subscribing to the midweek, and then we send out an email every Sunday afternoon at about 1 o'clock that gives a little devotional from the sermon, and then also underneath of that you'll see there's a little link to the Spotify link. We also post that link on our Facebook page. You can also search for that in Spotify. Just look up, I think it's CGC Sunday Set List or Community Gospel Songs. We have an actual Spotify account that is dedicated for Spotify music that we sing on Sundays, and then songs that we have coming up too as well. So this is a good opportunity for you to listen in your car as you prepare for corporate worship. Or you could give out to a friend or a family member, or if you just want to listen to it in your own leisure time too as well. There's a bunch of musical content that's going to be good for you and great for your relationship with the Lord for you to listen to at your discretion. Number 2. We are continuing in a small group season, seeing just a lot of things that are transpiring with our leaders. We've had a huddle in January as well as February and gotten to hear just the testimonies of the way God is working in and through our small groups. So if you're interested in that, by all means, let us know via the bottom portion of the slip on Sunday mornings. If you're not involved in a small group, we would love to get you connected. Our security team continues to do great things in regards to keeping our facilities safe. They just went through some CPR certification and had the opportunity to get updated on some of those credentials. So it's great to know. Some of you might not have even known about the fact that we have a security team that takes care of anything that may transpire on a Sunday. So just keeping them equipped is a fantastic thing in regards to making sure our members and regular attenders are watched over well. Men's huddles have been going really well. You probably heard about that these past couple of weeks in regards to our announcements. The guys have been walking through what it looks like to be a man of God in regards to their work and their workplace. And Pastor John's been doing a fantastic job just leading those discussions as they look at what that looks like in an everyday context. We've had 2 mission trips. One was a mission trip to Honduras from Lisa Flores, and then another one was a work trip to Mexico for Casa Day Spring, which is his hands and feet ministry. So we've seen people from our congregation go there and have the opportunity to serve in those places, being the hands and feet of Jesus and making Christ known is fantastic in regards to what they were able to do and what they were able to accomplish. If you ever wonder what it looks like in regards to us sending out full-time missionaries, make sure that you access the nursery hallway. And you'll see that board, and there's information on all of our missionaries, and we continue to try to get that information out in front of you so that you know how to pray for individuals. This month, in March, we're actually shifting our focus to Sarah Miller, who works with refugees, and then Ron and Susan Gordon, which work with navigators. So make sure that you pay attention to their information as well as prayer requests that will pop up this month on how we can support them through the power of prayer. Um, our children's ministry, they had a movie night just a few weeks ago, which is always a hit with our littles as they continue to just uh, have the truths of Scripture impressed upon their heart. So that was a great opportunity for them. And then we also had a fourth and fifth grade party at one of our congregational members' homes, and that was just a huge hit as they got to just be together, spend some time fellowshipping, and just be kids in a Christ honoring setting. So thank you so much to all of our children's ministry volunteers, all of those of you who serve, whether that's a Sunday morning setting, a Wednesday night setting, or any setting for that matter. We could not do any of this without you. And your gifts, talents, and abilities are just so cherished to me and to others as well as we continue to see students grow up in a God-honoring way. It's just, it's really a blessing. So our children's ministry and everything that Jess is doing to keep that moving forward is just a great thing. Speaking of young people, junior high and high school both went on retreats this past month, and we heard so many stories of conversations that were taking place, of the way that God is working in the hearts of our young people, and then them having the ability to see very clearly the schools and the places they populate as mission fields, and they are making Christ known in a really fantastic way. So again, seeing not just children, but youth ministry move in a direction is fantastic, that is going to be honoring to the Lord. So thanks to Jessica and her teams, whether those be children teams or junior high and youth teams. I had the opportunity this past month to speak for 4 weeks in the youth, and we talked about dating in the book of Ruth. Had parents come in. We spent about a half an hour every night as adults and parents talking through the intricacies of dating, and that series just was so powerful to be able to share together. We're seeing fruit manifested out of that, and good God-honoring conversations come out of that too. So we're praising the Lord for that. The women's ministry continuing to meet for Koinonia and their fellowship there, continuing to see some fruit come out of those discussions, and then also having the opportunity to see Alone Together, which is growing. You know, last month I had the opportunity to be at the Alone Together gathering, and I was listening into a conversation, and I heard very distinctly one person from our fellowship inviting another person into our fellowship and saying, I want to walk you through what it looks like to come to Community Gospel. I'll be there for you, and I'll take care of you every step of the way. Church, that's exactly how we want to be. We want to explain to people what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and then that we're going to be right there with them the whole entire way. So by all means, reach out. You know, it's interesting. Sometimes we feel like people won't come to church or aren't coming to church. And the reason for that is we're not asking. The majority of people will come to church if you just extend your hand and ask them, whether they've never gone to church or perhaps even if they have gone to church and they've just stopped going to church. So we can always reach out our hands and invite people in. And speaking of that, a great opportunity for us as we reach out and look for people who are far from God to come to a relationship with God through faith in Christ is Easter. And let me just tell you exactly what's going on for Easter and kind of, build some energy. Excuse me, build some energy. Woo, I got something. Build some energy up in regards to our Holy Week services and our offerings. So this year, there's 5 things to think about. Number one, that's going to be our Monday, Thursday service on March 28th at 6:30 p.m. All of these are listed on our church website on the very front page. We want to make sure that that's accessible to you. Monday, Thursday service is going to be a threefold communion service. So we're going to do a Seder meal, foot washing ceremony, and a service that is going to help us to remember what transpired in the Old Testament and how we can implement that information into our New Testament walk with Christ. So if you've never done this before, it's not something to be intimidated over. As a matter of fact, it's something to be really excited over about what will transpire. But we do need you to sign up if you are planning to come, because we need to make sure that we're allotting the resources to that event. We need to know how many people are going to be there to have the right amount of resources in regards to food and all of those other things. So again, don't be intimidated by this. As a matter of fact, I'd be encouraged by it. I would run to it. I remember when we first started doing these, I was in that boat too, a little bit timid in regards to my approach. Man, you walk away from that and you think to yourself, that was so edifying. So we've been doing this for a long time. We want to make sure that you're having the opportunity to participate and see really the maturity that can come out of it and the growth that can come out of it too as well. So Monday, Thursday is going to be March 28th. Then we're going to come back to the church on Good Friday, and we're going to do a service of shadows on 6:30 p.m. on March 29th. And the service of shadows is full transparency, really somber. It's in the sanctuary. It's very dark, and it's the time when we remember Christ's death and the fact that he died. He did rise again. But on Good Friday, we remember his death. We do need to know if you need childcare for that. So we have a specific block of childcare for the Good Friday service. We need to know if you are requesting that, so we can staff people accordingly. So Good Friday, March 29th, 6:30. Then we pause for Saturday, and then we look to Sunday. And Sunday, we have 2 offerings, and they're going to be different. So the first offering is the sunrise service. It's March 31st. It's from 9 to 9:30. It's a time where we sing together. We remember the fact that up from the grave, he arose. So that sunrise service is not going to be the same thing as the 10:10 a.m. service. It's totally different. It's a way for us to just kind of get rolling and get into motion and celebrate the fact that Christ has risen. He is risen indeed. So sunrise service is March 31st. There's a pause between the sunrise service and then the actual Resurrection Sunday service. So 9:30 to 10 in the gym, we're going to do donuts. So we got some fellowship where we can spend time with one another, and we can just be a church family and just celebrate together through fellowship. Then at 10:10 on March 31st, we're going to have our Resurrection Sunday service. Palm Sunday and Resurrection Sunday, we're pausing our Genesis series, and we're moving into a 2-week series specifically on Easter. So we're going to merge some Old Testament passages and some New Testament passages so that we can not only understand the life, death, resurrection, and ascension of Christ, but also work to implement that in our everyday life. So this is a fantastic Sunday, just like every Sunday, where you can invite somebody to church. Majority of people are more prone to come to church on Easter or Christmas. So something for you to think about in that regard. Again, all of those services, all of those signups are going to be on the front page of our website. We'll keep them there. We know there's a women's retreat coming up in March, in the March 1st and 2nd. But right underneath of that, you're going to see the Holy Week services and signups. And again, utilize utilize the church website in your communication with people. I send people there all the time. Like, hey, communitygospelchurch.com, everything you need to know. Not only are all the signups up there, but we also have what a normal Sunday looks like. People can actually walk through each individual element of our service. Our midweek communication is up there. So if you missed that or deleted that, need to re-access that, that's there. All of those things. Our live stream is there for people who may be curious about the church but want to punch in online before they actually attend. Or they can go back and they can see some other services too to get kind of a feel of what that looks like. So everything is there. March, like I said, is going to be all about Easter, Holy Week, and we want to make sure that we're doing diligence there. So, church, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Man, I'll talk about this next month, but we're getting ready to launch our budget. And just looking back over all the things that God has done in our fiscal year, the ways that you have given monetarily, the ways that you have given with your service, they mean the world to not only me, but to Christ Church. And we're seeing the fruits of our labor come to fruition constantly because of your dedication and diligence of making Christ known. So as you continue to give, as you continue to serve, as you continue to love people like Christ, may you be reminded of the fact that you too are loved, and not just by our Creator, but also by me. I'm so honored and privileged to be pastor of Community Gospel. Bethany and I consider it a joy to be able to call you a friend. So thank you so much for what you have done and what you continue to do. And then we will worship together as we know God will do greater things. I say it a lot, I'll say it again, but I truly believe the best is yet to come as we serve together to make Christ known near and far. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a fantastic day. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Community Gospel Church podcast. If you would like to support this ministry financially, simply log on to communitygospelchurch.com and click the Contribute tab.